Hello there and a very good evening to you. Welcome to Newsfeed. My name is Stanley Mirungeta. You can always talk to us on our socials below our screens. Now to our top story this evening. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has reiterated that the law based on facts and evidence will be faced in the case facing former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiangi. This comes just a day after Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haji confirmed the receipt of Matiangi's file, saying that he will issue a decision whether to prosecute former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiangi in relation to an alleged police raid at his current home. Dr. Matiangi is under probe by the DCI following claims that the police raided his current home on February 9th this year. The previously powerful CS was on Tuesday released after spending the day at DCI headquarters on Kiambu Road. His lawyer Danstan Omari said he will be charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and publication of false information.
Former Minister for Interior, Dr. Fred Matiangi, had been cordoned off and had been invaded by dozens of police officers. I immediately sought oral and written assurances from the Inspector General of the National Police Service, the service commanders of various formed units within the National Police Service, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, the Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, and all conceivable government agencies that could have a basis of apprehending any person in the event of commission of crimes. I released a statement the following morning from Arabal in Baringo County, denying the allegations and affirming that our country's security agencies remain neutral, apolitical, and focused on addressing the security challenges that our country are facing. I did, in that statement, affirm that the security agencies are not available for any political or extraneous duty in favor or against any political formation. I advised anyone with information relating to the alleged incident at Dr. Matiangi's home the previous night to file a formal complaint at the nearest police station for investigations and appropriate action. Considering that the allegations had accused the National Police Service, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations sought particulars of the alleged attack and the evidence thereof, which particulars were never provided by those who made the allegations. Consequently, the DCI had to move to court and indeed obtained a court order.
Now to matters politics. Youth aligned with Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni kicked out East Africa Legislative Assembly ELA member Kanini Kega out of a meeting at the National Museum Center. Kega, who has recently aligned himself with President William Ruto, was chased away from the podium where political parties discussed democracy. The ELA member of parliament has accused Kioni of wrecking the Jubilee Party, which is already facing a number of internal and external challenges.
We want to say that Jubilee is known as a peaceful party. What we have witnessed here today is totally not Jubilee. We don't fight. We don't have acrimonious disagreements. Whenever we agree to disagree. and we always respect our institutions. The behavior that you have seen today of the former Secretary General to bring along goons to come and disrupt an internationally covered function whereby we had dignitaries from all over the world is demeaning to our party. It is something that is totally unacceptable, and we want to condemn it with the greatest terms possible and tell them that that is not what Jubilee believes in. So we want to say it's a bit unfortunate that they have decided that whatever is happening out there, you know, the former Secretary General is now associated, you know, with the sufurias and mass action and all that. Jubilee does not stand for mass action. And I want to say it categorically, that Jubilee does not subscribe to the mass action that is being propagated by Azimio.
Now to matters education, and a section of teachers caring for learners with a disability in some schools have not been paid for a period of 4 months. This is according to the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, who says that the ministry has accumulated a debt of around 360 million Kenyan shillings. However, the issue has attracted uproar from senators, alluding that so many students students with disabilities have been kept away from attending schools due to challenges of availability of the schools or even resources.
The number of primary schools and the need for primary schools is higher than the number of primary schools we have. So that the existing primary schools sometimes cannot be able to accommodate the rising numbers in both primary and secondary. Even when we come to placement of children in secondary school, Nairobi is one of the counties that we have a serious problem where you find they don't have enough secondary schools, so we have to accommodate those from Nairobi in the neighboring counties and other counties because the number is so huge and yet the facilities are not as many. One such problem is because I think we never provided for public utilities in a number of these areas, such that you find, yes, there are so many residential areas, they are occupied by parents, there are children there, but the school that might be existing might be very far away, and hence the establishment and the emergence of these private institutions, private primary schools.
And ODM leader Raila Odinga has called for nationwide mass action from Friday after his 14-day ultimatum to the Kenya Kwanza government lapsed yesterday midnight. Take a look.
Indeed, are the true shareholders in this country. All the people of Kenya are collectively shareholders in our country. We begin telling Ruto and Gachagua that we understand that a caring government cannot emerge from an illegitimate regime like Kenya Kwanza. Begin telling Ruto and Gachagua that we have no more patience with an illegitimate regime that is too mean-spirited and too incompetent to deploy resources for an all-out war on poverty and suffering of our people. We have no more patience for an illegitimate regime of hypocrites and fake humanitarianism. We begin telling Ruto and Gachagua that we can't keep living on false promises. We begin telling Ruto and Gachagua our clear understanding that when we keep taking painkillers long enough, they will cease killing the pain. And that is when the real pain will begin. Kenya is ripe for a people's movement for the defense of democracy. And the process begins today, here and now. Ruto must go. We launch a campaign of defiance of peaceful picketing, peaceful protests, boycotts, strikes, disobedience, peaceful petitions, peaceful sit-ins, and peaceful demonstrations, and it begins today and now.
Right, and we'll be definitely updating you on that in our 7 and 9 p.m. stories and all the way till Friday, and as all the developments in that story. Now, a private investor has launched an emergency school feeding program in the drought-stricken parts of Kwale and Kilifi counties to make sure that the school-going children carry on with their attendance for better tomorrow. The teachers have welcomed the support, arguing that it is a good response to the humanitarian crisis occasioned by the current prolonged drought in the region, adding that the school performance is now likely to improve.
So I understand that most of our families have had a challenge in providing, especially.
And we have promised to provide school feeding program where we have selected 2 schools and 2 orphanages. We have done in Bungoni Primary School the food materials which should be enough for 2 months plus. And every 2 months we'll be adding on to provide during this toughest time as we are into drought season. We have also initiated supporting needy children through the local administration, and we have issued recently few checks to cater to the needy children who have really performed well. As we have seen in the news that there are about 700 children still at home could not go to secondary school because of lack of school fees.
This aid is going to go a long way to improve performance in our school, in that children will be present at school on a daily basis. And other than that, it is going to boost the morale of kids being at school and also ensure that the performance of the place is elevated to the next level.
Meanwhile, youthful leaders drawn from various organizations have called for equality when it comes to division of positions for the youth in different political parties, while also calling for equality in representation of youth and people with disabilities in the Senate and National Assembly. They have also downplayed the issue of sidelining manifestos from the opposition side after the election.
And so I believe that a priority that all political parties should be having is, hey, how do we start looking for people with disabilities who have a real passion for issues relating to disability, relating to inclusion, relating to accessibility, relating to employment of people with disabilities, opportunity, education, healthcare, the works. That are actually going to be brought into political parties, given training, given the confidence, and even given the support financially.
At whatever level your political party is, whether it has members of parliament, MCAs, or it has a president, irrespective of those representation, all political parties should have manifestos. And manifestos should be unique. We should not be short of ideas to have almost similar thoughts. And that's why you hear, or that's why you see in developed democracies, they have unique manifestos. They have unique approaches to the challenges that are bedeviling those nations, the aspirations of those people.
They first must make sure it is a safe space so that then, when it comes now to the elections, they have this pool of qualified women and they decide, now who of these are we going to give the ticket? Because now number 3, now that is where the whole issue again of gender fails. Because this time round, we had a huge number of women running. But when it came to the ticket point, a lot of women were shortchanged.
And at the same time, Likoni Member of Parliament Mishimboko has faulted the President's mission to lower the cooking gas prices over food commodities that are basic to every Kenyan. Expressing her concerns, the Mombasa County Member of Parliament said that many Kenyans are unable to afford decent meals due to the high cost of living, thus resulting in high rates of crime within the society as they find ways to meet their needs. She now wants President William Ruto to subsidize food commodities, rather the cooking gas, which she has promised to lower the prices to 500 Kenyan shillings by June 2023.
Wananchi wameshindwa kununua mfuko wa unga 240. Wananchi wameshindwa kupeleka watoto shule. Mambo yamekuwa magumu. When the president is doing subsidies in terms of gas, let also him do subsidies in terms of the food. Tunataka zile food commodities zile muhimu sana pia ziweze kupata subsidies. Mambo ya shule yapate subsidies. HELB, watoto wetu wa university tunaambiwa HELB itatolewa, watoto wa university watasoma vipi? Kwa hivyo tunamwambia Mheshimiwa Rais, our celebration will reach the climax when you are going to adhere with what you are requesting from you in your government to ensure ya kwamba njaa tuko nayo kina mama, unga lazima ushuke chini, shule watoto waende wasome, shule lazima watoto waende wasome, lazima jamani.
And still in the coastal region, the Principal Secretary for Shipping and Maritime Affairs, Shadrach Modime, asserts that the shipping sector can play a huge role in addressing the issue of youth employability in the country, noting that there are international labor opportunities that can be reached through quality training of maritime affairs students who will help exploit resources in the ocean and make Kenya a first world country. Speaking while he graced an occasion to launch the Bandari Maritime Academy strategic plan in Mombasa, the PS has also announced that the government's mission is to recruit at least 40,000 seafarers annually to help hit a target of 200,000 seafarers on ships by the year 2027.
Kwanza niseme kwamba vyeti vyetu sio kwamba viko na kasoro kwa njia yoyote, viko kamili, lakini mnavyojua International Maritime Organization wakati wanatufuatia evaluation hutuuliza kwamba tupeane masomo ya aina fulani kulingana na kile ambacho kinatendeka ulimwengu mzima. Kwa hivyo sio Kenya peke yake. Ndio kwa maana anasema tukihitaji kuwa katika level ile ambayo iko hata kwa nchi zingine za ng'ambo, basi itahitaji tuzidi kuweka pesa katika institute hii ili tuweze kupata zile centers ambazo zinatakikana. Na nitamuuliza Bwana Muraya azitaje. Kuna 2 ambazo tunataka kujenga kwa miaka kama 5-6 ijayo, tuhakikishe kwamba zimepatikana hapa kwa institute hii na watoto wetu waweze kupata mafunzo haya. Kind of students we produce here are of the standard required internationally. And not only that, so that we can be able to access the international labor market. For us to access the international labor market, the quality of our certificates has to be as high as possible. And therefore we are determined as government to ensure the same. We are setting resources aside, but we're also calling upon our development partners to assist us truly convert this center into a center of excellence in the next 3 or 4 years.
And County 05, ranch owners in Lamu County have dismissed claims that they are behind the terror attacks which have been witnessed in the area, targeting certain communities. Now, according to the ranch owners from Witu Nyongoro, Amu and Witu Livestock Cooperative Society Limited ranches, they termed the statements by Lamu Women Representative Monica Marubu as incitement meant to create divisions amongst the communities that have coexisted for many years. Now, according to the ranch owners, they have called on the government to take action against the woman representative, or else they will move to court to sue her.
Watajua ukweli iko wapi, na Monica Marubu kama ni urongo watajua yake ni urongo. Serikali hawatochukulia urongo anayezungumza Monica Marubu. Kujaribu kuungana sisi kama wenyeji wa Lamu, tumeona kwamba Monica Marubu anataka kututenganisha na wale makabila zingine. Kwa hivyo tumeanza kuhamasisha watu wetu.
Sisi sio majangili, hatuna sifa hiyo, na hatukuwahi kuwa majangili na hatutakuwa majangili. Yeye alisema ya kwamba sisi ni majangili, pengine ana ushahidi kamili ya kusema ya kwamba sisi ni majangili. Yeye alisema waliishi hapa miaka 30. Miaka 30 hiyo sisi tumeishi hapa. Mimi nina title ambao ninaonyesha hapa ya 1908 ya babu yangu. na naweza kukuhesabia back 1908 kwenda huko chini, mababu wanane, that is 800 years ago.
Laikipia County Governor Joshua Irungu has urged grassroots women to embrace change in technology for profitable and sustainable growth. Speaking at Solia Village 2 during the International Women's Day, the governor noted that most women in the villages are using cell phones, commonly known as mulika mwizi, that have no access to the internet. During the celebration, the human rights defenders decried the retrogressive cultural practices in some communities in the county as a major hindrance to gender equality. Laikipia County Gender Coordinator Karen Kiogora said that women deserve equal opportunities like men in education, employment, and also supported morally and financially in their innovative ideas. On the same note, Laikipia Mokogodo Girls Empowerment Program Director Josephine Dirias noted that women need to be supported in amplifying their voices in the community and be at the front line in making decisions that concern them.
I've been there to exist. So it's the high time we are trying to say no to the culture that is dominating those women so that they can be able to access health services, education, and at least be in a table of decision making.
Nje kuna wale wanataka kununua lakini hawana hiyo habari ya kwamba kuna products kama hizi, na kwa hivyo mambo ya leo, dhimu ya leo ya mambo ya digital kwa teknolojia ni kitu ya muhimu sana kwa kina mama kujulishwa hayo, na kutumia hiyo teknolojia ya digital inaweza kupatanisha yule mama ako na products na yule mtu pale nje ako na shida ya ile product. Kwa hivyo kushikanisha ni kupitia kwa hizo mambo ya digital technology, na kwa hivyo tunaomba ya kwamba hiyo ni kitu kimoja kama serikali ya county tutaendelea kuyafanya, na kwa sababu kupitia zile miradi tunataka kufanya ICT centers kwa kila kijiji na kwa kila wards, kutupitia hizo hata akina mama watafaidika kufanya biashara kupitia the online au digital technology.
But then when you come to the theme of the day, which is about innovation in technology, we have gone through the exhibitions and the farm demos, and we have seen the women have engaged themselves